What's up, everyone? Welcome to the 45th episode of the Boundless Business Podcast. As always, it is Larissa, Justine, and Nico here. Team, good morning. How are we feeling today?
Good morning. It's cold outside, so I'm feeling like it's cold outside. I don't know.
A little bit more sluggish than normal. That's how I would like to sum it up.
For reference, for anybody listening, we live in Phoenix, so cold outside is like 60 degrees. So other people would probably be very happy for 60 degrees, but it's very cold for us.
Yeah, it's very gloomy.
It is interesting to say the least. But we're here. We got some awesome topics, and we're gonna rock and roll. So, Justine, what are we talking about today?
Today we're talking about like the holidays, what usually happens around the holidays in terms of lead generation and outbound and marketing. So let's kind of start off with what we usually witness around the holiday season. Like, what do we usually see in our day to day? How do things change?
Sure. So, really, after Thanksgiving, we have this 2.5 week slash 3 week run, right? So in this year, let's put some times to it, right? So Thanksgiving was the 24th, right? So between the 21st and the 25th, right, of November, it was pretty slow, right? Because Thanksgiving, travel, whatnot. Then the 28th all the way up until the 16th, right? It's 3 solid weeks, is just run, 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 right? When you're listening to this, we should be closer to the second week, or like, the last week, which is 12 to the 16th, right? So it's the last like kind of full week of a lot of work. And then from the 19th all the way up to the 30th, there's this 2 week uh lull, right? So anything from Hanukkah starting on the 19th all the way up to Christmas to 26th, and then New Year's. So inevitably, and this is probably my best advice, never stop marketing. Like never. Like even though there's going to be a lull, there's going to be less people responding, but more people are going to be on their phones, right? So people are still going to be checking email and Slack and stuff like that. So don't stop marketing, but expect that your numbers are going to be fluctuating, right? So it might be very high or it might be very low compared to average. Now, there's a couple things that you can do, and I recommend that you start doing this as soon as that lull hits. But it sounds boring, but as you're continuing to market, start planning, right? This is a great time for reflection for agencies. It's something that Larissa and I do, and we actually start early this year as we start planning for the next year. But start planning. Like, what are your goals? What do you want to accomplish? Like, some agencies don't need to continue growing that much. So you might want to divert your energies from like pure getting new clients to how do we keep clients? How do we upsell them? How do we get more from them? But that depends on your goal. So like, what's the goal for the year, right? And then from there, you can start planning. Okay, what can I start doing? Now that seems boring or whatnot, but I mean, listen, there's a reason that SMART goals exist. Have gotten so popular. The one thing I will add is now's the time to lock in relationships, right? You have excuses to reach out because of the holiday season. So people who've been in your pipeline that are warm to hot, start reaching out to them, thanking them for connecting with you throughout the year. Mention something exciting that you guys are going to do together. Uh, don't be too salesy. Just focus on maintaining and building that relationship, because even if they're not buying now, they are thinking about the problems that they're facing. Um, so start planning, right? And start like really like targeted reach out to people. Great time to ask for referrals. Like this is the time to go into like very low hanging fruits because you have the time to do so. What do you think, Larissa? What am I missing on like a growth side before we're going to talk like ops and whatnot?
I mean, I certainly agree with a lot of things you said. Like, definitely, again, don't stop marketing, anticipate fluctuations, especially if you're in like the B2B space, expect that you're probably not going to be having any meetings booked, or if so, a drastic decrease in meetings booked. Otherwise, I mean, you know, really try to communicate to your clients and make sure that Since on your sales side, your prospects aren't going to be responding as much, this is a great time to bolster relationships you already have. And those are kind of things you can do in the meantime. I mean, definitely expect a holiday lull.
And the nice thing is like, this is good for everyone involved, right? This gives you the time to really analyze your data. Like one thing that I have not been doing really well is once someone says yes or no or maybe or anything like that, I update our CRM, but I haven't been, because of how busy we've been, I haven't been really transforming and putting over my notes, right? So they have the statuses, but Larissa's also been on me about updating it, so because it affects campaigns and all that. So like all the boring work that you need to sit down for 3, 4, 5 hours and do, now you can do, right, to really help your pipeline in the new year. And this is a good break for you as well. Like it's good to take a step away and say, okay, where am I actually going, right? That's why goal setting is so important, because you don't want to continue a path if that's not the path that you want to go down, right? And sometimes when your head's down, you don't realize that you're going down a path, offering a service, working with a customer base or customer you just don't really want to continue working with. So definitely, like it's okay to take some time too to relax, right? It's I mean, listen, I'm the worst person at this, right? I don't really relax, and that's not good either. So yeah, long
Yeah,
story short.
relaxation is definitely important here. But I kind of want to talk about setting yourself up for success before the new year starts. So what are some things that we do to set ourselves up for success? I can kind of talk about content really quick.
Yeah, do it.
So what we do to set ourselves up for success with content is reflecting on what worked in the past year, looking back at our old posts, see which ones did really well, and then taking the time when it is slow to batch content. So write a lot of blogs. You might have extra time to write blogs right now. So write a couple blog posts and create content that you can use in the new year that's already done, that you won't have to worry about in the new year when you're busy, and just have it ready to go. So that is one way we kind of prepare for the hectic time of the new year by, using the couple of weeks in December when we have less to do to batch content and create a ton of content. So what are some things you guys do?
Well, you can definitely, Nico kind of referred to it earlier, but definitely be going through your lists of all the people you reached out to this year. Make sure you're bucketing them in appropriate buckets. So people that you don't necessarily want to interact with again, ones that would be good to reach out to again this year, as well as ones that maybe would be good to reach out to sooner rather than later, like higher priority ones, or different ways you can kind of do that, as well as maybe on your ops side, you go in and you clean up maybe your current client list, make sure you have everything set up well in terms of basic things that help your business run. That could be anywhere from invoicing to project management, making sure all your project timelines reflect days off and holiday schedules and things along those lines. Those are all just in general things that we can do.
Yeah, one thing I will mention is, especially as we go into the new year, new me is going to happen. This is for fitness, for health, for agencies across the board. Like it's going to happen, right? So the biggest thing I'm going to mention now is like start putting together a very specific offer that you want for the new year, right? So let's say that you're an SEO or PPC agency, right? There are things in the new year that are currently working really well. So I've seen a lot of agencies focus on Google My Business as a main driver for initial wins, right? So maybe you can have a Google My Business promo or offer that could be a lead in offer to past clients. Like, hey, listen, we're doing X in January, we're seeing Y results, we're offering it to all past clients, or exclusive, PPC plus SEO plus 3 blogs for 10% off, right? So start thinking about those offers, because one, some people have budgets from 2022 that they're going to have to spend in 2023, just because some people don't do January to December like financing. So even though some companies right now are at the cusp of that, right? So they have to spend now. Others have January, February, March, like Q1. So they're going to have budgets that they need to get rid of. So that you can capitalize on that by having these offers ready. Um, Also, like one thing that we're doing is like Larissa mentioned, we are looking at all people we met within last year and we're segmenting them into different like, hey, this could be a good fit for this offer or could be a friendly or a referral partner. So we're putting those campaigns together so that we can launch them now in December and then continue following up with them in the new year. Uh, there's so much money opportunities in the first 3 weeks of January before we hit the end of January lull because people just overwork themselves in the first 3 weeks. So we want to make sure that we're ready. One thing that I will mention is this is a good time to work on your operations, right? So like anything from someone signing up until like fulfillment reporting, now is a good time to take a step back, look at your systems, see where there's a bug or two, and be able to fix it and train your staff before the new year so they can better serve your clients. Like communication, for instance, right? Let's say that you don't have a communication structure. Now is a great time to implement it, test it, train everyone on it, and have that for new clients and existing clients in the new year.
Yeah, definitely. Those are all the questions I had. Anything else before we end it off?
I'll close it out, Larissa. I don't know if you have anything specific that you're like, we've done this and it's been successful, or we've done this and not been successful, and you shouldn't do it. I don't know if you have anything like that.
The biggest thing is just, make sure your expectations are realistic for what can be accomplished during this time. Independent work is probably much easier to get done because you don't have to do anything around other people's schedules, which just that's the trickiest part of this season, right? Is everybody is having different schedules and it's hard to find times to meet with people. It's hard to find times to get things done. So I would probably focus on prioritizing individual work, or maybe centralizing that to more like internal work, working with internal team members so you have just a little bit more visibility into their schedule and their workload. But realistically, a lot of operations for people are kind of shutting down at this time of year. So take a good look at what's going on and really make sure you reflect this on this past year of what's gone well, what hasn't gone well, what mistakes were made, what has been a really positive impact. And try to amplify the positive and do what you can to negate the negative in the remainder of this year, and especially going into next year. Set yourself up well for the next year.
Yeah. The only thing I will add to is like, it's okay. Like I mentioned earlier, like it's okay to take a step back too and not get quote unquote work done if you're building a plan and action steps, right? Because it's very easy to do small things that don't really matter. Like, oh, we should update our website. Like, sure, maybe, but is that really going to move the needle for you, right? Or is maybe this a time you can learn email marketing if you want to get more clients for the next year, right? So what's your goal? Work backwards to see what's the best way to achieve it. And we have a lot more exciting things coming down the pipeline, huh, Justine? Like a lot of great content across the board, as Justine mentioned, creating a lot on the blog side and whatnot. So if you have any questions, email me at nico@boundlessmedia.com, get Boundless Media on podcasts, social, YouTube, everything like that. And if you have any topics that you want us to discuss or guests that you think could be very, very beneficial to interview, please let us know at getboundlessmedia.com. You guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Enjoy the holiday season. We'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace.